Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Diablo 3. My name is Wilfred. So now it's towards the end of season 16. I would like to recap on what I've done in that season, and also I wanted to make a video on the Primal Ancients that I've collected in this journey. And also probably towards the end of the video, talk a little bit about the season 17, and I'll definitely start playing that once it's launched on the 17th of May. Which is not too far away. So right now, just like chilling out, kind of clear off the inventory, do some kind of inventory, kind of like spring cleaning, and then get ready for the season 17. All right. So now season 16 has been very, very kind to my witch doctor. I've got 22 Primal Ancient looted, not crafted, looted. So I'm very happy with that. But of course, of all the Primal Ancient that I've looted, which is 21 actually, my wife passed me one. Two of them I could use. So there you go. These are all the Primal Ancient I have, and the Primal Ancients that I have equipped. So the one that I'm really happy about is the ring. It does have the crit hit damage and crit hit chance, and it kind of like perfect for my build. So I'm really happy to have looted that items. And another one that my wife passed me was the belt, which is very good for this J Harvester build for my witch doctor. So I only have two Primal Ancient, but I'm rather happy with what I have. But I do have a whole set of like Primal Ancient that most of them I can't use. Some of them is more for another build. Like for example, if I look at the Zunimasa, I've got two of them. These two of them. But I mean, this one would be pretty awesome because it has the crit hit damage, crit hit chance. I can roll the vitality out to something else. So in the event whereby one day I want to play a little bit like a fetish kind of like build or pet build, then I could use the Zunimasa kind of like set. Also have this Zunimasa's a string of skulls that's for the offhand item. Again, it's crit inside and so on and so forth. So I don't know. It's one of the options that could well be in the future. Then there is a health tooth. I don't really play the pet build. I found that the witch doctor pet build is a little bit too passive for me. But again, I mean, in the event whereby one day I'll play this and I'll roll the last affix to something else, maybe armor or armor. Then I have the Arche legs and boots. So both of them is alright. I think for this one, the third one probably reroll to armor. This one I probably would again the last one to armor. So these are the options that I could have if I play other builds within Witch Doctor. I mean, it's not really a waste. I mean, set item is always there, it's evergreen. So I intend to keep all these things. Now then I have a whole bunch of mostly junks that I would like to share with you just for laugh, right? I mean, I just keep those items and see how many Primal Ancient I got in the end. So I've got the first Primal Ancient. I've completed the Greater Rift 75, I think, that dropped the Broken Staff. And of course, Broken Staff is it's pretty useless. I just give it to, I mean, it's not even worth giving to a follower, so it's useless. And not only do I have one, I have two as well. How great it is. And then I have this Tyrael's Might, which interestingly last season I've got it as well. So I've got another one of these, useless. This one is just like, again, not useful. This one again is not useful. Well, unless you are doing some kind of like physical build or whatever it is, I don't know. I don't think it's useful at all. Then you have another one that Ugendo, no, I don't use, and the Grandfather is just another trash. So all in all these are trash. And then I've got like the Anesari Edge is more for the Witch Doctor, but I don't think there's any build that use this item. So again, it's more like a trash. I don't know, who knows, maybe in the future it could be useful. Then Blackthorn is again like most would not use it anyway. So it's trash. Then another two of them is the Band of Hollow Whispers, again useless, and the Skeleton Key. If you play higher Rift, the follower that you use would be most likely either Templar or it's basically a Templar. So you don't use this at all. So again, it's kind of useless. Then it's interesting. I got two of this guy, the Butcher's Sickle. It's not that bad because the fact that I mean, some of the build towards the end game do pull the enemy against you. Like I think the barbarian would be quite happy using this guy to just drag enemy with you as you hit them. So maybe it's useful. I know one of these days. And last but not the least, the this Mask of Jerome that could have been useful had I used the Health Tooth build for the season 16, which is the season of grandeur, because in order to you could have the ring, you could have the season of grandeur buff, whereby you can just swap out the mask or the head item with this guy here. So again, it could have been rather interesting, but anyway, the affixes are pretty lousy, so nope, it's junk. So I have a whole bunch of junks, but at least some that I could use. So the probability of getting a Primal Ancient is 1 in 100 should that item drop, and as you can see, I think only out of 10% I could use, so it's not really they're helpful in a Primal Ancient. But it's always nice to be able to have a little bit of like Primal Ancient kind of like Primal Ancient drop, and you feel quite happy about it. All right. Now the another thing that I'd like to showcase to you is that over this season I've done quite a fair bit of stuff. The record wise, I think I could push higher with my Witch Doctor, probably 103, 104, but somehow I just stopped playing, because I've achieved the solo to GR 100. Then after that, the rest of it I push it for like 2-player and 3-player and so on. So I think with my guild, the best we could do was about 102. That is already quite close to the cutting point. I think we could. I think 3 of us, like me, my wife, Cup, as well as Strict Dupe, possibly could push it a little bit higher, like 103 maybe. But depending on map and so on. But I'm happy. It's the highest rift I have personally. I've achieved more than at 100 and above. So I have no complaint. And I'm really happy about this. This whole season. It's really fun. The season of grandeur. It took me to a different height whereby I didn't think I could do it. But of course, all the power creep aside, but it's still a satisfying experience when you kind of know what's happening, and you kind of being able to conquer the content itself. So I'm happy, and of course I've done up the entire season as a guardian. Now the just looking forward to season 17. I think the interesting thing is the legacy of Nightmare. So season 16 is about the grandeur, so you don't need to have the Royal Ring of the grandeur to give you the buff of 1 less item to get a set item bonus 4 and 6. The legacy of Nightmare is that you don't need to have the 2 ring in order to give you the I think you don't need the 2 ring in order to give you the kind of like no set kind of bonus kind of thing. So it would be interesting, I think. I am going to roll Necromancer, because I think out of all the classes, the one that would make sense for this buff, because not many build, the LN build is not really for every class. The class sets are very strong these days. To find like an LN that beat the class set is actually quite hard. So Necromancer is one of them that could do it. So I'm rather interested to see whether or not I can build something out from it. All right, so that would be my choice. But the so in the season 17, there's a lot of good quality of life kind of improvement, including an additional stash. So I think previously they promised about 4. I don't know how many additional ones, but in the end they can only manage 1 because of technical issue, they said. A little bit disappointing, because you do need a little bit more stash space these days for the build variety. I think in the past Diablo is kind of there aren't really that many build variety per se, but then these days there are actually more build variety after all the rest of the item getting buffed and so on. So I am a little bit disappointed that you can't have more than 1 stash, but hey, anything beyond what we have is a bonus, so I'm not in particularly upset about it. And a good thing about the season 17 is the Torment 14 to 16. I think Torment 16 is around about GR Greater Rift 75 kind of like difficulties, which is kind of nice, because I always find that GR is the fun place, right? Farming keys for GR is boring because, these are only T13 and you basically just yawn and destroy everything that you see. So I didn't really feel the excitement when I do anything like Bounty or just normal Rift. The only excitement comes in Greater Rift, and it's kind of like you have to go through the key farming to get all this nice kind of like get the key to play the nice content. So with the Torments 14, 15, 16, which I presume all the reward will get scaled up as well, that make it more worthwhile. Like for example, if you are farming GR 75 and above, then doing Torment 16 seems to make sense. It seems to be a fun thing to do. So I look forward to that a lot. On to the season 17, different class have different set bonus. So just want to quickly walk through some of them. I think Barbarian has the Might of the Earth. That's fine. I never used that set before, so I don't know how good it is. The Immortal King, I think, is still one of my favorite, or Ways of the whatever. So yeah, that could be one option. Barbarian is always quite fun to play, I guess. If you like the kind of melee experience. Crusader is a Thorns build, and I heard from my friend Zubu, which I don't know. I gave up on Crusader because just that it's. Well, A is a bit too noisy, or whatever ability they have. B, I know they say that Crusader is one of the strongest, but for whatever reason, my wife and I just can't get it right. We can play like Wizard, we can play like Barbarian, we can play like Witch Doctor and Necromancer and, Demon Hunter, but just can't get the Crusader right. So, but I heard the Taunt build is really, really strong at the end game. So, that could be a good kind of start. Demon Hunter is a Shadow Mantle, which is basically the only build I know how to play. My wife played the Sentry build. I play the Shadow build, so I am more like I like the Shadow build a lot. I think it's a lot like a health regen, kind of like burst damage. So all in all, I think it will be a good set to start with. Then we have the Monk. I can't really comment on Monk because I haven't replayed a Monk after the expansion. I played a Monk before the expansion. So it's a Monkey King's Garb. I don't know how good or whatever they play like, but I don't think it's one of the top kind of like a set items. Then we have the Necromancer Inarius. So Inarius was the top build when it first started. The Necromancer DLC, which was wonderful. The kind of like a storm that go around it, and the and I kind of love it, the Necromancer, then Inarius, like melee kind of build. But then after that, I think they nerf it and become like not that fun anymore. So I don't think Inarius is at all a strong build. But I think it's the good thing about Inarius, though, by the way, is the set dungeon is pretty easy to do. So when you play the season journey, you have to do a set dungeon, at least one of them. So with the Inarius build, you could actually do a pretty simple kind of like a set dungeon. I think that is probably one of the easiest set dungeon to do compared to some of the other. I think Rathma is not that bad as well. I think out of all the Necromancer set dungeon, I'm fine with most except Tragor, because I just not good at Tragor. But I quite welcome Inarius. It's just I don't mind easy. I can do easy, and I don't have to do challenge all the time. Then the Wizard is the Firebird, which is great because I play the Firebird. There are videos in my channel that show a lot of Firebird. I love it. It's a very interesting kind of mechanic whereby you every time you hit an elite, then you get all buffed up, and I use the buff to kill off all the small minions, so I leave the elite as the last one to kill, and it does a lot of nice AoE as well, the Firebird. But the set dungeon is a little bit hard, so I use the Tarasha to complete the set dungeon journey. Then the Witch Doctor is going to be the J Harvester. So you've seen my season 16, the video on J Harvester is super amazing. It's one of the most fun class and build ever I play in Diablo 3. So I would strongly recommend, if you haven't tried J Harvester, it's a great thing to play. I think yeah, it's just so strong, so fun. It's a lot of bursts, a lot of like hold back. Just play on the invulnerability buff kind of thing, spirit walk invulnerability buff to be just invulnerable. So it's a very fun thing. So I think all in all, the season's sets are pretty nice and decent. I'm pretty happy with it. The only thing not happy about the season 17. Oh, by the way, they have a lot of cosmetic kind of like items. I think there's a pet. Also, if you complete the Guardian, you get a galactic wing, and the wing looks pretty awesome. So that is the good part. The not too good part is a conquest. So now, in order to reach Guardian, you need to have 3 conquests done. It's either all or nothing. You can't just do 2. If doing 2, not 3, you can't get to the end of the journey. You got no wings. So now the conquest of this season is really sad. It's really, really sad. So the first one is that you have to complete the 5 ads within 1 hour. I have not done that before, and I think you need a full team. And you need a fair bit of coordination in order to run through a story, and it costs you 1 hour to play. And if you fail, you have to try again. Now this is going to be something that I don't know. Maybe I just grew up with my friend and add 1 more, because I have Piper, I have my wife, I have Dupe, but I just need 1 more to complete the journey. But man, I mean, that is going to really terrible if you try your best in 1 hour, then you miss by like 10 minutes, then you have to do it again, try to do it faster. I haven't tried that. You guys can tell me how hard it is for the 5 ads within 1 hour. Then Avaris is the one that you have to earn 50 million gold within like 1 shot kind of gold streak. So it's not that hard, but it's a little bit tedious. The unfortunate thing about that kind of like thing is that in the beginning of the journey, you do need to open up bounty to get the bounty material so as to roll your weapon into an ancient. It's so crucial. But with the Avarius, you would end up hoarding a lot of those chests, trying to get the 50 million, and you need the chest to be at least like T11 to T13 to make it worth it. So I don't know, maybe I don't know whether now that you have set T16, the T16 kind of like a bounty boxes, will you require lesser bounty boxes? Maybe we don't do this one first and do this one later. But you could go into some of the dungeon to train all the little monster to get your 50 million streak, which I've done it before. But I think most likely I like it the easy way out. Just do bounty, collect boxes until I can open up 1 shot without the pet around me, of course, without moving around, and get 50 million just by moving 1 step towards any direction. All right. So this is fine. So Avaris is fine. I can do that one. GR45 with no set item. It's not necessarily hard, but it's not necessarily easy either, depending on the class that you choose. So I think I struggle with some of the classes to achieve that. But some classes, like I don't know, like Demon Hunter, I had no problem with that. I don't know why. But for some classes I kind of struggle. Oh yeah, Crusader, I had no problem with that. But some classes I kind of struggle a little bit. I can't remember which class really. I take back what I said about it could well be a Demon Hunter that I struggled. But yeah, Greater Rift 45, no set dungeon, so you need to make sure that all the orange tags, all these things are synergizing with the build, and just be lucky if you pull out one of those dungeon whereby there's a lot of elite around, a lot of like shrines that you can spawn more elite with the nemesis. I guess it'll work, but I'm never a big fan of the GR45. Some say it's easy, some say it's not. But I think ultimately, for this season though, because this season is the legacy of the Nightmare. So all in all, you would want to collect non-set items anyway, and with that buff. So maybe towards the end of the journey, this would become a rather easy thing to do, or like middle of the journey as you collect more ancient, define your own build, and so on. So yeah. I don't think it's going to be tough for this season, thanks to the legacy of Nightmare. Then you have 6 set items for GR55, a class set. So each class has 4 set items, and you have to use 6 sets items to complete a GR55. which means to say that, say if you roll a necromancer, like for me, necromancer for season 17, I have to use all 4 of the set items. I think there are 4 of them all in total. I think I'm right. Like Pestilence, Inaria, Tragwall, and Rathma. And so 4 of them. So I need to roll another class to maybe a monk to use 2 set in kind of thing to do a GR55. I don't think it's going to be hard, but it's not going to be achievable right up front. I think it's something that you need to get a character to a reasonable kind of like high paragon level, and then you try to do it for all the sets, all the 4 sets for the same class. Then after that, you use all the extra currency like Bloodshot, like whatever it is, to go to the next character, level it up to like 70, and then after that collect another 2 sets. I think that is probably the way to go. It's not hard, but it's just tedious. Then the last one is 8 set dungeons. Man, who in the right mind would want to do set dungeons, really? Unless it's really necessary for the season journey. I hate set dungeon. I think many people who play this game share the same sentiment. It's stupid. It's like a manufactured kind of artificial game whereby you have to either strip down your gear, or you have to have some kind of specific items to be immune to poison, immune to this or that, and then you can win the set dungeon. There's nothing smart about it. There's nothing skillful. It's just a matter of boring kind of mechanism. It's not even a test of your knowledge about the set bonus. It's basically counterintuitive. You have to take down items that synergize with the set because you are too powerful. You can't kill things too fast, otherwise it doesn't count. So it is one of the stupidest design of the Diablo 3. Sorry, just say as it is. Set dungeon. So yeah, there are options, but some do that because it's hard to do some other things. So maybe 8 set dungeon would be it. So yeah, just to recap: 5 add within 1 hour, Avarius 50 million gold straight, GR45 with no set bonus, GR55 with 6 set items, and also 8 set dungeons. Why can't they have something better, more fun, like boss mode or Greater Rift 75 solo? Seriously, man, there's so many things that they could have done for 17, season 17. But anyway, all the happiness and complaint aside, I'm very excited that this game is still having a little bit of like quality of life improvement, a little bit of theme, kind of cosmetic item to collect. So I will definitely see you in season 17, and do drop me a comment box below. How excited are you with the season 17? What class are you going to roll? Any tips for me and for the community? Welcome to do that. And I know, my apologies, I'm not putting a lot of Diablo 3 kind of content. The beauty about Diablo 3, right, is that I don't need to play all the time. I can play it for like 2 months, and then I stop for 2 months, and then I will go back again, so I don't get burned out. Because if I play a game for too many months consecutively, I may get burned out, I may get bored. But for Diablo 3, I don't get bored. To be honest, right now, I don't even know how to play Witch Doctor anymore. I was GR 100, no death or whatnot. If I walk into a GR, maybe 80, I think my character would die. So that is a fun for me, Diablo 3. And thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.